Hello, welcome to another video. Today I'll be talking about the Bose Acoustic 300 bass module. I've created some videos before about no power, but this video is about no sound. So when we have the orange light and white light and no sound, so basically what should happen is that when a bass module is connected via the app to your soundbar, this should make a little noise, which I'll demo in a minute, and then once the sound is made, a boom sound, which means that it's connected and there is sound coming out from the subwoofer. If there is no sound to be heard, that means that there is a problem with the subwoofer, even though you have a white light. The orange light means, and if it's a pulsing light, on and off slightly, or I wouldn't call it on and off actually, if it's just flashing gently, that means that it's searching for a signal from your phone. So it has to be pulsing to actually get the signal from your phone to connect. And once it's white, the white light means that it's successfully connected to your network, or your soundbar should I say, and then once it's white light is stationary, it should be a solid white light, which means that it's connected. Now if you're not getting any sound, which means that there is a successful connection to your subwoofer, but the white light is just an indication of I have made the connection to the soundbar and I'm waiting for sound to be produced. But if there's no sound coming out, we have further problems, and we can actually look into that. I mean, it could be a wide range of problems, but the one I'm going to discuss, we'll have a look at this, because as you can see, I've got two bass modules here. One of them works and one of them doesn't. So they both actually connect with the white light, but one of them will produce sound and one of them doesn't. We'll just go through it and see if we can actually troubleshoot what it actually is. I'll give you a little demo as well as to why I've got two, not only one acoustic mouse module, because we'll be sharing some of the information between one or the other, just to sort of troubleshoot what's going on. And then we'll show you also how to replace the glass if you've got glass broken, or if you want to clean the subwoofer from inside, because I can see a lot of dirt from inside a lot of the times and it's quite hard to get into. And if you are feeling quite lucky that you want to clean inside the subwoofer and you've had it for a while, you're welcome to do that, because after this video you should be able to actually master how the subwoofer actually comes together. So without wasting any more time, I'll just give you a quick demo on how this subwoofer should sound once it's working. So just for the demo, I'll show you how we're going to connect this subwoofer, as any owner of the subwoofer would know how it works, but I'll demo it anyway. Also, just to remind you that the 300 and 700 are the same kind of modules, so if you see my previous videos, I've already shown this to you before. The 700 and 300, there's no difference in terms of shape, size and sound whatsoever. They all give you a nice boom sound, nice bass, and pretty much the same module. In fact, not pretty much, it is the same module, just a different number on this, because Bose have decided to just change the series from 300, because the 300 series was aligned with the SoundTouch software that they had, and then Bose designed another software called the Bose Music, and the Bose Music app, or the Bose app, it does not work as a SoundTouch, because the SoundTouch was based around only to be used from the soundbar and the subwoofer, and there wasn't really an app as such which would be connected using different methods as well, like internet radio and all the other things. I mean, it was a bit different in terms of how it used to work, but the new app is aligned to work with the 700. So the soundbar 300 SoundTouch, we used to work with the 300 bass subwoofer, but even though the 700 will still work, but yeah, we just have different numbers, but they're the same modules. Just so complete the differences. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is the one that doesn't work, so we're going to plug in the power, and you will see that the event status light, which is over here, will start flashing in a minute. There it is, it come on now. So first it will come on, which means that it's saying that everything is fine in the circuit, and then after a few seconds it will start pulsing. As you can see, there is a light going. Can you see that? Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to our app, which is the Bose app, and we're going to go into our soundbar, which as you can probably see from the camera there, and we're going to go in our soundbar, and we're going to go into settings, then we're going to go into and the accessory speakers, we're going to add an accessory, and we click on continue. Now what it does, it will now start discovering any accessory that is around. I mean, it could be a subwoofer, or it could be the sound speakers, if there are any. So you'll notice that, if I can actually just say that, yeah. So within a second or two, you see the pulse, the orange light will turn white, which is at the back behind me, and hopefully we will see that it will connect. There it is, see that? So it's come up as a 700, as you can probably see from my phone. It's showing up as a 700. So once that's showing as a 700, that's now, it's all set. So you just click on all set, and now is the time you should hear a boom. But as you can see, the light is well, still orange at the moment. It should go white. Let me just try this one more time. It is connected, but it's showing an orange light, and it's not pulsing right now, it's stationary. So that's a bit different. It can happen sometimes. You have to disconnect it, reset it for a few seconds, and put it back in again. Usually this should resolve the issue, and what we'll do is we'll add again the speaker and see how that goes. Right, it's turned white right now. I can see it's white and it's connected, but it's not going to make any sound, and it might turn orange again because of the issue that it's got. So, but yeah, right now it's saying that I've connected myself to the soundbar, and it will show up as, if you go into audio on the app itself, you'll have a new section called bass module. Oh, where are we? Here we go. Yeah. It'll say bass module, and it will come up as 100. As you can see from here, it'll say another section. I mean, I'll put it on 100, but it shouldn't be. So yeah, and you can see there's a solid white light. Status light is white right now, and it will stay white until until the power goes out. So it will stay that way, regardless if the soundbar is on or off. It will stay white, just to say that the connection is successful, and you can start using it. But at the moment, because the bass subwoofer hasn't made any noise, this means it's not working and there's no sound on it, but it's just a white light. Now some users may experience this issue, and that's why I'm making the video, to see if we can actually resolve this for most of us. In this case, what I'm going to be doing is I'll be switching over the actual speaker itself, but there is a fix where you guys can actually look into, and I shall actually post some details on my description, so you can actually get the parts that you need to get over this. But anyway, that's enough said. Let's crack on. So what I'm going to do is just one more thing. I'll demo the next one. So this is the one that doesn't work. So I'll demo this, that there's no sound produced, but the status light did show up as white. This one over here, because we can actually pair two subwoofers maximum, I think, from what I've read. So what we'll do is we'll go back into our and we're going to discover this subwoofer, because that's now going to be pulsing as well. So we'll do add, we'll do continue, and we already have one subwoofer, as you may see on the app. There's only one already showing, and then in a minute you'll see that another one will pop up. There we go. Now we've got two. So the second one has popped up. Now as soon as I'm going to click on all set, you'll hear a noise. Right, now that noise is a sign that the subwoofer is now working and it's connected. Nothing else will change, so in the audio you'll still see only one bass module setting and you'll only see one bass module level, not two levels, but they would both control the same bass modules and they both will work simultaneously together if they were both working, but in my case only one works and one doesn't. So let's get down to the reason why the other one is not working and not producing any sound like it should. It's interesting to learn what happens in this video, so let's move forward and show you exactly what's going on. Right, so I'm going to start opening this, and like many of you might know that I like working on the floor, so this video is going to be done on the floor, and I think it's quite convenient for me to work on the floor. I don't like working on a table, it's just not me. So we're going to open the bass. As most of you already know, that to open these you have 2 screws behind the sticker plate, 2 screws in the front and 4 screws under the legs. So the screws I've opened, just to make the video a bit more faster, so the screws I've opened, these screws which are on the legs, so underneath the rubber feet, and we're going to open these. However, what we're also going to do, we're going to open the ones around here as well, which not many people open. Well, I haven't seen any videos that will opening the whole lot, so we're going to open the entire subwoofer today. So we're going to open the sides, and I have opened some of them already just to shorten the video, but I thought it might show the real thing when I actually open the screws as well. So we're going to open all the screws around. Just remember, the screws that are on the side are different to the ones in the middle, because you can see they have a different thread. I think there is one on this side as well, which is this one here, which I can't see above the video. Right, so the screws are all out, so we're going to lift this lid first and I'll show you what's going on. So that's the circuit board. We don't need to take the circuit board out in this particular video because we're not fixing anything on the circuit. What we have noticed is that we have a cable going in here, right? And then if you may know already, this is a cable that's coming from the subwoofer. Okay, so that's the cable. I mean, if you have a multimeter, I suggest that you guys would want to quickly test that before we do anything else. So you turn this on, and on the multimeter itself, you'll notice, I'm just showing you right now, that it will read, this is just continuity testing right now, so we're not actually doing anything. Oops, sorry about that. Let's just, yeah, so we're just doing continuity testing right now. And we're just going to check that the continuity is there from the subwoofer. So if we just take the pin here, and I know the capacitor is charged, so don't go there. Yep. So we do that, and we'll just check the pins, and it's dead. Basically, there's absolutely no continuity from the subwoofer at all. Right. So what we do know is now the subwoofer is actually popped. Or at least there is something in between. It could be a loose cable, could be whatever, but this is the cable that's going in and supposed to make the noise. So what we've seen is that the circuit is working fine. The white light, the orange light goes white and it connects, so that's fine. No need to sort of, waste time in looking at the circuit, because the issue is this here. What I did do is, before I can actually delve into it in detail, I actually just looked at the existing subwoofer from another one, which I'll show you how I did it. So now I've opened the other subwoofer as well right next to it, and I'll show you the continuity on the other one, what it's going to show, or at least just so for reference purposes. So we're going to take the subwoofer cable out of the other one, the one that works, and we're going to just check the pins quickly to see if it actually gives the continuity reading, or if this is still also. Yep, so I've got some reading coming in, which means that there is the circuit is there on this one. So what I did do is actually took the other subwoofer, and before I would open everything up and go through the pain, because I have another one, I literally just plugged this in here like that and tested it. So what I've done is I've just used a subwoofer from the other module, testing on this one just to see if it works, and it does. So I'm not going to go into detail right now, because it's just basically the moment you plug that in, power it on, it will just pulse and it will start working. In fact, if I did do that, it might just actually start working. So if I just plug the cable in, power cable, the light will start flashing in a minute. Yep. But it won't go boom now because I've already added it in. But if I mean that this one's already powered on right now, so I'm not going to touch it. But if I now go into the Bose app and go back into my subwoofers and accessories, if I can go into them, one of them is showing us, it's, as you can see, on my app here, one of them is live and one of them isn't. So that's that one there. So I could, if I was to remove it, means I don't think I can remove one of them anymore. You have to remove all of them or none. So I'll remove both of them right now. Takes its time. They're all removed. I'm just going to add it again, and now this time we're going to hear a little pulse. Hopefully we're going to hear that boom coming out from the one that doesn't work, but it will work because it's using the actual subwoofer from the other one. So we'll discover it in a minute. I forgot to mention that once it's removed, you have to power it down and then power it back up again. So what it does, it cycles through the connection, and it will then start to give the orange pulse light again. But if you just remove it and try to add it again, it won't add, because it's not searching for a connection then. It just knows that I've been disconnected. I will also show you where the Wi-Fi card is on this module, so just in case if you have any Wi-Fi problems with the card. Here you go, it's found it. Now if I click on all set, hopefully it will make a boom noise. Right, so we all heard that noise. Now this means that the subwoofer is successfully connected and it's working, and it's showing up as a base module here as well. So just going back to the problem now, and I'll disconnect the mains. So now what we've learned here is that there is obviously the circuit is fine, it all works fine. It's not the diode, it's nothing to do with that, because that was just a power issue. And I mean, everybody, I can see the starts to on a lot of videos, they look at the entire circuit with a multimeter, whereas the issue is actually just the diode, and you just change that. I mean, there's no need to waste any further time, because that's the only problem that the power relates to most commonly in this module at the moment. And we all know that fixes the problem, but no sound is another issue. And I know there are other issues with connectivity with these modules as well, and that's most likely to do with the Wi-Fi card and stuff, so we'll get to that later. But let's see what is the issue with this one. Why is there no connection coming out on this particular base module? So what I've done is we removed the lid, and we also removed all the screws from the side, and I'm going to lift this gently. And what we'll also see is, while we're lifting this, is that the only thing that's connected right now is this cable underneath, nothing else. So we can actually easily push this through and pull it open like that. Let's see if it comes out. Oh, there is a cable that it's, here we go, just pull it gently and let it go down through the actual hole itself. And there is a rubber grommet onto that. You probably want to remove that, because that may fall underneath and then you'll try to look for it. So there is a a little rubber grommet here. We need to remove that and put it on the side. That will open the area easily for the connector to come out, and now you can pull this section off completely disconnected, and there's nothing else. Now on the side, as you can see here in this module here, the top half is actually the Wi-Fi card. This is your Wi-Fi card here. So if we're having problems with this unit connecting and you have serious problems with the Wi-Fi, then the good chances that you might want to change this Wi-Fi card, which is in here underneath. So there's a reason why this one's on the side, because when the base module is upside down, there's no point of having a Wi-Fi card stuck at the bottom of the module. So what Bose have done is they stuck the Wi-Fi card on the side of the base box, so when it's in the signal, it will Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, whatever means it's using to connect. This is the module that it uses to connect, from what I know. And also, basically, this is the main bit, as you can see. I'll try to see if I can focus this out a bit. Yeah. So if we just keep that aside and bring this down a bit, so this is your main module. So the circuit sits on there inside, and everything happens here, and the only thing that connects to this circuit is the base module, which goes through the connector here, and it connects straight there, and that's what drives the whole thing. And when the air is produced, you can see this air travels in, comes out, and then goes from one of the ports here, and it travels across in here, and then it comes out from this passage here, which gives you a nice deep bass. So we'll put that aside right now, because we're not looking at that right now. We're going to look at our subwoofer today to see what's going on. This is the subwoofer, and that's the glass on top. So what we need to open right now is we've got 4 screws on either side. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on 4 corners. You'll see them when you open it up, and you'll open each screw. I have to open them right now because I'm going to demonstrate how it actually is done. So here you go. So you've got 1 screw with a rubber washer, and you've got to open another one as well. Let's open the screw, and there's only 4, so I'll have to go through these. Yep, you do need a lot of time to open these, and be careful with these washers because they can actually fall through. They won't go anywhere, but it's just a pain to sometimes get to them once they fall in. So, and what the purpose they've put these rubber washers in is because of noise, vibration. What it does, it just prevents the screws from getting loose, because there's rubber in between. So what we're going to do right now is remove the glass and then see from there what we're looking at, and then that would be interesting to see why there is no continuity on this subwoofer. Right, so the 4 screws have been removed, and let's push this on the side. We don't need to look at that right now. So this is the main one, so we're going to gently lift this, and that's going to now detach the glass, which is effectively, this is your glass, and that's now been removed by the 4 screws that are removed, and that's it. That's all it's held by. It's held by 4 screws. So we can put this glass away, and as I was saying, if you want to clean it, you can clean this, it's not a problem. And then now we're looking at the base module, flip it over, and this is it. This is our subwoofer, and if you want to clean it, take a cloth and clean it. I don't think having a wet cloth is a good idea, but let's clean it nicely, and that's it. And as you can see, the subwoofer is very nice intact. Looks like it's a 10-inch subwoofer. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open the subwoofer as well. So we'll go through all of these screws one by one. They're about 8 screws. So we'll remove them as well. It's a very nice subwoofer, as expected by Bose, and you can see the quality is there in the actual, on the outer ring of the subwoofer as well. I mean, pretty much this is completely disassembling the Acoustimass 300 now, because after I've taken the subwoofer out, there's not much left in this module to actually remove, because the main items have been removed already, and there's not really a lot to find in a subwoofer anyway. It's a speaker and some circuitry to deliver the right frequencies. But anyway, so let's now, I've removed all the screws. Obviously there's no handle to pull it out. You'll have to tip it somehow and be gentle with it, not to touch the middle piece, and make sure we'll get grips on the edge of it, and the subwoofer will automatically fall out as it is now right now. So the subwoofer is out, and if you can see, there's not, this thing is hollow now, there's nothing in it, it's just an empty shell, and we don't really need to look at that because our issue is this. So if we're looking at this, and ouch, I have found the actual issue, what it is. So if we, let me show you what has happened here. If you can see that wire here, which is the lead wire, they call it the flexi lead wire. The other one is gone. It's completely burnt. There is absolutely no connection to the one inside. So there's one inside there and one here, and then it's just basically just burnt off. You can see it in there. Now my question is that after having so much circuitry with chips and resistors and capacitors and all of that, how come it doesn't have any load protection? Because this subwoofer is showing a great sign of overload. This subwoofer has been overloaded with high frequency or with volume, of course, and it's burnt out basically. It's just burnt the lead wire which is supposed to connect. Now luckily in this case I don't, well, after looking at the if I look at with the multimeter, if I was to put this speaker on the unit upside down just for troubleshooting purposes, and if I was to use a multimeter now and have a read through on what is going on, let's see. And if I was to put this here just for you guys can see as well, and I'll just pulse it through this there. There you go. Can you see the reading coming in? There. The continuity is there, which means that the subwoofer is fine. I mean, obviously I'm getting the right reading that I need to see, and we just need to now get a new wire and reattach it to the subwoofer so it can start working again. Now, I don't have this particular wire right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the subwoofer from another one, just so we can actually get this thing working. But as I said, to actually get this working, we need to get this wire, and I'll put it in the description where you can get this wire from, and then you need to desolder it from here, and most likely you want to resolder it from here. And I mean, ideally what speaker makers would do, they would take the dust cap off and solder it straight from the bottom and put the dust cap back on again, but removing this is definitely going to cause damage to the cone as well, and you don't want to do that. So I suggest that the best thing to do is to actually just join the wire back again if yours is blown as well, and that is basically the cause of the subwoofer not to work. So in this particular video I've just highlighted the fact that what is the cause of no sound in the Acoustimass 300 when the light is white and you're not getting any sound and everything looks normal. So in this case I would suggest that you ought to actually connect this cable back again if it's blown, or do check your subwoofer if it's blown, because that would be a high probability of having no sound coming out from your subwoofer. It's a shame that the Bose haven't designed a safety protection anywhere. I would have thought there should be one in between, at least in the cable or something that would prevent this from happening, but clearly it doesn't have one. So going forward, I will just what I'll do is, because I have one which is sitting there not working, I'm going to just change the subwoofer from that into this and hopefully give this a new life, because it's out of warranty, and sometimes it's just not worth sending it back, because you can probably buy another one with a different fault which will work out cheaper than sending it to Bose, but it's entirely up to you. But this video is all about how to fix it yourself, so yeah. Well, until next time, I will actually continue my video once I've put it in and see how it goes, because all we're going to do is we're going to replace this with one that does work. So I'll continue once I've added that in right now. So just to recap on the replacement subwoofer, so here you can see I have another one which is now showing both cables connected successfully on these. Those two are now, they're all there, they've been connected, so this one's not blown up. So yeah, this subwoofer, the magnet is extremely strong, and yeah, it's basically a 10-inch subwoofer. It looks brilliant. It like reminds me of a JL Audio actually, when we used to have them in the cars at one point. But anyway, so yeah, this is going to go back in now, and we're going to assemble this back, and then hopefully that cable will drop into there, and basically it's just, this drops in. There's not really much science involved in this. You just take the subwoofer, make sure it aligns correctly to the right side, and that's it. That's pretty much it, and it gets dropped in. I just need to check, because there are certain markings on this thing that we need to follow. So the subwoofer has these points. You can see one here, and these points need to be aligned with this side here, that set point here, and that point here, so it doesn't go in any size or any side. It needs to be actually dropped into those certain points that it needs to follow through. So in this case it will go into this side. So that would then, that point that we have here, yeah, that would meet up with that one, and obviously that would make that one. So the good thing is you can't really go wrong with this. It's like it has to go in that way. No, what, it won't go any other way. So just in case, if we're, obviously there is a reason for that, and that would then mean, yeah, that point goes here, that point goes there, and if we just drop it in, hopefully it would just go in like that. There you go. That's in. You can't really put it in any other way. It has to go in this way, because the points don't align if we try to put it in any other way. So the best thing to do is to just align the points, and then once those are done, just screw the subwoofer back in again, and we're good to go. So yeah, my job starts now putting everything together, and I'll continue once everything is done. Right, so the subwoofer is in now. We're going to put the glass back on. So the glass goes in. There's no particular side for the glass. You can put it in any side you like. It seems that because it's all symmetrical, so it's not in any other shape or form, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that would now go in, and now we're going to screw this back on again. So in order to do that, we're going to flip it and upside down, make sure the glass isn't securely at the bottom. And ideally you want carpet underneath this, because you don't want a glass to get scratched if you put it on a hard surface. You take the screws, and if you've got the right size hands like I have, then you just basically fasten them with your fingers first, and then you can just easily just screw them in. If you don't, then I suggest that you can use a magnetic tip screwdriver, and obviously the washer is there as well. So make sure that you also keep an eye on the washer, that is not going to fall out of the screw. It is a tight space, I have to say. It's not the easiest place to get to, but yeah, okay. So that's all in. We're going to just put these screws back on, and then once that's done, I'll show you how it goes. Right, now the glass has been fastened. It's quite important to also remember, once you screw the glass in and you think you've done it, always shake the glass with the finger and check on each corner to make sure that it's not shaking, because the last thing you want is to put everything together and find out that the glass is slightly loose and it's making a vibration noise, and then you have to go back to everything back again, and you don't want to do that. So the 4 screws that are at the bottom of this that fasten the glass have to be really tight, because that's what actually puts the glass on top. The glass is only for show, but nothing else other than the fact that it will just reflect the base. But yeah, the glass is now secure. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put back the unit that we pulled out, which is this one, not the other one. Right, and then we're going to find its way through on here. And there is a little grommet that you have to push through as well. It will come out itself. And then basically what we do is slide this unit back in. There you go, that's gone in. And as I was saying about the rubber grommet, we've got this rubber grommet. We'll have to slide this back in, into that, into this, and basically what it does is prevents any air from coming out. The last thing you want is some air to come out and make any noise in the vibration while you're listening to the subwoofer. So that grommet gets pushed in securely. Yep, that's all fine. We're going to connect these 2 wires back, which is the subwoofer wire. That's all connected now, and that's pretty much it. And now I'm going to screw back everything together. But before I do that, let's just plug it in and see if we actually get a successful connection. So I've just plugged it in, and hopefully, let me just put this on camera. Yep, there's a white light there. So this one is just replaced the sub now, so we've got a white light. And let's see if we can actually see the subwoofer popping up. So let me go into the app so I can actually show you. Yep. So the base module right now is reading that it's there, so we can always remove this. Remember, this was the faulty one that wasn't working, or at least wasn't producing any sound, and now I've removed it and the orange light has gone orange, and within a few minutes, so now it's gone. Now, as you can see, the orange light is not pulsing anymore, it's just status is stationary, which means that it's disconnected. So what we need to now do is disconnect this and reconnect it back again. Give it a few seconds for it to start. The status light is now orange. It's going to start pulsing in a minute. There you go. And then now that means it's looking for a signal for a device to connect to it. And I'm just now running through a phone right now, as you can see. And within a second or two it will go white, which then means that it's connected successfully. So now it's talking to it, and there it is, come up, and it's gone solid white, which now means it's connected. And in the moment I'm going to click all set, it should go boom. Whoop, that's went boom. Alright. Now the noise a bit louder was because I haven't got anything screwed in. So once everything is screwed in, it will be absolutely fine, which I will demo, of course, once more. So as far as I can see right now, that we have a subwoofer that now works, which wasn't producing any sound, and now it is. And now we know the reason why it was not producing any sound, because it had a faulty subwoofer. I'll continue once this is all plugged in. Right, this is all assembled now. As you can see, I've put it all together, so I'm just going to now add it back again onto, all the screws are back on, and hopefully we're not going to get any rattling noise because everything is back together. So I've just plugged it in, give it a few seconds, and hopefully it will find it. and the light will go white. Yep, there we go, we've got solid white light. I'm going to click on all set. Yep, I heard the noise, the whole room was shaking, and we now have a successful subwoofer working with sound. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, I'm happy to help. These are good quality products, but sadly, and depending on how they've been used, obviously things can go wrong. But this is another fix-it video, and this will hopefully bring some sound back on a subwoofer where it goes off. And also I have shown you where the Wi-Fi card sits on the side of the subwoofer, so you can open and locate that as well. Okay, until next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.